Hey, this is James Pelton, and just want to do a video today talking about the Wonderland TIME DAO. Okay, so this is a fork of Olympus DAO. So if you haven't watched my video about the Olympus DAO and the 7,000 APY that you're currently getting on Ohm, I made about $15,000 in just a couple weeks. TIME is a fork of that project. So basically, you have Olympus DAO, and then in coding terms, all these coding projects are open source, which means that anybody can look at the code. So basically, you take Olympus DAO and then you take that code base and you fork it, is what they say. And then it's basically just a copy of that project. And then you make a few changes, rebrand it, and now it's a new project. Okay. And so TIME, which I have $10,000 invested into, is just a fork of the Olympus DAO. So it's the same thing, but there's a few differences. The first difference is that it is on the Avalanche network. Okay, so Olympus is on the Ethernet network, the Ethereum network, which we've talked about has very, very high fees. So if you're just getting in with a couple $1,000s, it's going to cost you, maybe $400, $500, $600 to do the swaps and to get your Olympus staked into the Olympus DAO project. Whereas for TIME, the fees are going to be a lot lower. So it's a lot easier to get into. And the other big difference, here I'm going to go to their website, a little bit cool branding maybe. Their website used to be pretty creepy. It used to have a weird looking clown, and I was never going to invest in it with the weird clown, but a weird cat is better than a weird clown. But they're currently giving 84,817% APY. And I know that sounds ridiculous, and I would not expect to actually make 84. If you expect everyone to be making this 84,817% APY, then you have to expect the price is going to drastically drop. So I don't expect to make that much long term, but sometimes when you get in on the beginning of some of these projects, you can get pretty significant returns, at least at the beginning. So I want to just kind of look at how I've done so far on TIME and how you can get started yourself. So I think TIME is a pretty solid project. They're not a rug pull, so we know the team behind TIME, and they've done other things before, and they're pretty solid. But let's take a look at when I first got into TIME. So when I first got into TIME, I bought in, I believe it was at 8,000 when I bought in, and I put in $10,000 worth. So I got 1.25 TIME. And when it's staked, they call it MEMO, or Memo maybe. So I had 1.25. So you can see, so this has been maybe 2 weeks, I would say, since I first got in. So I've actually, I bought 1.25 MEMO, and now I'm up to 1.42 MEMO. Because with this 84,813% APY, that means every 8 hours, you're getting a 0.6178% return, which means over 5 days, which means over a day, you're making about 1.8%, a little over 1.8% a day, or 9.6788% over 5 days. So at my 1.25, every, let's see, 0.006178. Is that right? No, that would be, it's 0.6178. So every 8 hours, I was getting, I didn't put that much in, but I was getting 0.0077 times. So every day, I've been getting 0.02 extra time. So the price when I bought in was at 8,000, and it's down a little bit since when I first bought in, so it's down $300. But my position, because of the APY, is actually, if I take 1.42, 5416, which is how much time I have now, times the 775503. So I've made $1,000 here in about 2 weeks, and that's with the price. We kind of had that big crash yesterday. If it was up still where it was even just 2 days ago, up at 8,833, I actually would have made a pretty significant profit on that. So even with the price going down quite a bit because of the crash, still up $1,000 in 2 weeks. So that's on a $10,000 investment. That's pretty solid, and I like TIME that it seems to be a little bit. It seems to hold up a little bit better while the rest of the market is kind of hurting. So I kind of look at it that way. So, and I like that it's on a different network than Olympus. So I have my Olympus position, which is pretty big, and then I have this Time Wonderland position on the Avalanche network. That's a little bit smaller. So these numbers are exciting. I would not expect to make 84,000% APY on this. I wouldn't expect that if I put in $5,000 in a year, it'd be $1 million. Those types of things do happen in the crypto world. But what I expect is that my staked balance is going to go up pretty regularly, and the price is going to go down. And hopefully the price goes down, just not too quickly, but just kind of steadily, which it has been doing. It's actually, the price has been going up. So I think this is a pretty solid investment. Again, I wouldn't put in all my net worth in it, or a big chunk of my portfolio, but it was worth a $10,000 thing to throw in and just kind of ride with it for now. So if you're interested in getting involved with this project, it's a little bit more complicated to get into than Olympus. But as always, so we need to buy time is what we're looking to get. So you go to time and CoinMarketCap, and you go down to market and kind of look at, okay, where is time selling? And what you'll see is that there's not a lot of volume. So remember to look at volume, because you could just say Hotbit is actually a service that I really like. And there you can trade Tether for time. Okay, so that would be the easiest trade. But you notice the volume is not super high. So you could try that. You could go to Hotbit, create an account, send over some Tether from Binance and give that a try. But it's just there's not a lot of liquidity there. And so sometimes when there's not a lot of liquidity, you end up paying a lot more than you need to, because you have to raise the slippage tolerance. So basically you have to say, hey, I'm willing to pay more than time is worth, because there's not very much volume there. So I'd rather go to Trader Joe. So Trader Joe is kind of Avalanche's main trading network. So that's where I'd rather go. So what we really need, if we want, you can't trade any stable coins for it. So again, that's why this is a little more complicated. What we really need is this AVAX. Okay. AVAX is what we're going to look to swap for time. So then we have to look, so it's going to be a two-step process. Where can we get AVAX? And again, if this was on the Ethereum network, then the fees would make this not worth it, because it's like, okay, I got to swap this for this, swap this for this, and you're having to pay fees each time. But on the Avalanche network, the fees are only just pennies. Okay, so you can swap really as much as you want, and you'll end up being okay. So here you can look, okay, where is there liquidity and a good coin that I know we can buy on Binance or somewhere like that. And there's two of them. So there's good liquidity on trading USDT for this is a wrapped AVAX is what AVAX is. So I can either trade USDT, which is Tether, or USDC, which is the dollar coin, which I don't know if I've ever talked about that one, but it's just another stable coin like Tether, where the price just doesn't change. It's just based on the US dollar, and it just stays around $1 all the time. And it's done that for a long time, with the one spike of $1.01 back in April. So either one of those is going to work great. You can either do the USDC for wrapped AVAX, or you can do the USDT for wrapped AVAX. And it looks like USDC is a little bit cheaper, so that's probably what I would do. So you just go to Binance, and again, you log in. And I might pause it because it's going to send me a SMS. And once you get into Binance, you're going to go over to buy crypto. And this time, usually we're used to buying Tether in here, but we're going to buy USDC. USDC. And I guess maybe you can't buy USDC straight from Binance's. Hold on one second. I figured you could buy it, that they would put it in their straight up buy crypto tab, but they don't. That's actually surprising to me. I would figure USDC would be one of the main ones that you could buy. So you could go over to trade and go to the Binance Market and buy it from there. But since USDT works, we'll just go ahead and do that since it's already on there. Easier, fewer clicks. So pick how much time you wanted. So again, I bought $10,000 worth of time. So you just put in there, go ahead and preview purchase. Again, they'll send you a text confirmation, then they'll send you an email confirmation. You have to go into some people ask, you have to go into your email and click confirm withdrawal. and that's when you're withdrawing out of your wallet. But sometimes they'll send you an email and you have to confirm from there. So then once you wait for the purchase to come in, you wait for your tether to come in, then you go ahead and withdraw it to your Metamask wallet. So go ahead and it doesn't matter which network you're on when you're withdrawing, but we're going to actually. All right, and I actually had to pause it for a minute because I had to refresh my memory, because if you withdraw just your tether here, you can actually only send it to the Ethereum network, which is not what you want to do, because then you can get it from the Ethereum network and bridge it over to the Avalanche network, but there's going to be some fees. So actually, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to withdraw our tether. So you could do USDC or USDT, but you're going to want to send it over to Kucoin. And I believe we've used Kucoin before. Kucoin is probably my favorite like swapping place. A swapping place, that's a real technical term, I know. But it's not so, and someone sent in, so you can't verify your identity on Kucoin, which means that you can't, because they don't actually allow you to verify yourself in the United States. But that's all right, because all that verifying yourself does, it means that there's a limit to how much you can withdraw a day, and it's a pretty high limit, so it's not actually that important. So what we want to do is we want to deposit our USDT or USDC, whichever one you decided to go with, into your Kucoin account. And so there's my address, and I always make sure you copy it from there. You go to your wallet and you paste your address, preview withdrawal, and that's where you'll get a text and you'll get an email that you have to verify. And that will take just a few minutes for that to go into your account. So while you're waiting, if you haven't done this already, go ahead and add the Avalanche mainnet to your Metamask. So mine's already in there, you can see, but if you've never added it before, then you'll have to add the Avalanche network. So you have to go down to add network, and you can just say AVAX or Avalanche or whatever you want to call it. And then I'll put up here on the screen, that's the network name. Again, you can do Avalanche or AVAX or whatever. That's the RPC URL, the chain ID, and the symbol. So you just go ahead and put those in here. Those are that data. Again, you can look it up too if you just Google Avalanche Metamask. But go ahead and add that to your Metamask because we're going to have to withdraw what we're going to do here in a second. So you go ahead and deposit your USDT or USDC into Kucoin. And then on Kucoin, it's a little strange, but you have to transfer things from your main account to your trading account. So you withdraw and deposit into your main account, but then your trading you do in the trading account, okay? So what you do is you go to your main account in your assets, main account, and then you want to transfer from your main account to your trading account. And you want to just do all the USDT that you just transferred over. So again, if you're going to do $10,000 in time, it's going to be all of it. Then you confirm, and then now your funds are in your Kucoin trading account. Okay, and don't lose track of where your funds are at. Okay, sometimes, I use enough exchanges where sometimes I forget. Oh yeah, I have. I might forget. Oh, I have. $2,000 worth of sand on my Kucoin account. You forget things like that. So keep track of where your balances are at. But then we're going to go to spot trading. So up in trade, spot trading. And what we want to do is we want to trade this USDT for, we're going to actually trade it for AVAX. So just go up here and you can type in AVAX. Another thing I do is sometimes I just do it up here in the URL. So the default is Bitcoin to USDT, but you can just type in AVAX to USDT. So I'm going to click trading AVAX for USDT. You have to type in your trading password, and don't do a limit order unless there's a specific price that you want, because a limit order could take all day. Like if I say I want AVAX at $114, so I want to save $3. So the price right now is at $117. I want it at $114. So if you do a limit order and I put in the price I want is $114, then it will just wait until that price is hit. So it's not going to happen right now. Okay, maybe later today. Who knows what the price of AVAX? If the price of AVAX only goes up, then you'll never get your $114 limit order. So instead, we go over to market. We want the best market price. We want to max buy AVAX. Okay, and again, didn't actually transfer any USDT, so I can't do it. But you want to buy AVAX, which is Avalanche. So as Ethereum is to the Ethereum network, AVAX is to the Avalanche network. Okay, so you're going to do that. Buy your AVAX. You're going to wait for a couple minutes until it hits your account, and then before you transfer it out of Kucoin, you actually have to trade it. Transfer it back from your trading account to your main account. So you just go down to AVAX, which I have 0.00007442, but you just go, I want trading account to main account, and I can actually do it here. Transfer all my AVAX back over to my main account. Okay, and that should happen pretty instant. And then so there's a lot of steps to getting time. It's not as straightforward as getting Olympus was. But then we're going to want to put it into our Metamask account. So we're going to want to withdraw all of our AVAX, and we copy our wallet address, and it's going to be the same. Your wallet address doesn't change, whether it's Ethereum network, Avalanche, Polygon, whatever. It's going to be the same address. But the network we're going to do is the C chain, okay? The AVAX C chain. And then we want to transfer max, which I don't have enough even to transfer because I had too many zeros, and the fee is 0.01 AVAX, which is not very much. But so you have to have at least that much in there to do a transfer. So then you're going to confirm, and you're going to bring out all of your AVAX. You're going to wait for just a couple minutes until that goes through, and then you should have some AVAX here in your Metamask. You should have some AVAX in there. So once you get your AVAX, we're almost there. Now we go back to time, and we're going to go to Trader Joe. And I know it says wrapped AVAX. So technically, Trader Joe's smart enough to technically what you have to do is transfer your AVAX for WAVAX and then your WAVAX for time. But Trader Joe is smart enough that if you just go to Trader Joe and say you want to swap AVAX for time, then it is smart enough to figure out that it needs to do two swaps to make that happen. Okay, so these swapping networks are smart enough to do the AVAX to WAVAX to time. So they just kind of do it all there, okay, if that makes sense. So you want to come back here and you're going to swap your AVAX for time. Now you have to be careful here because you need some AVAX for fees. Not very much, but you can see I have 0.395 AVAX that I'm just keeping around in my wallet. So don't transfer all of this. I guarantee you this will happen to you at least once, where you convert all of your AVAX into time, and then you don't end up not having enough for the fees. Okay, so again, the fees are going to be really, really low. Like you can see, the fee is going to be 0.001, but keep at least 0.1 AVAX sitting there. So just take whatever the max is and lower it by 0.1. Okay. And then you're going to swap that over into time. And I'm not going to actually do it right now, but go ahead and swap it over to time, and it'll take a few seconds. It's pretty fast. And then you will end up with time in your Avalanche mainnet Metamask. Okay, it'll be right there. So Memo, remember, is the staked time. So you can see where my staked time is. So last step. So again, this is quite the process, but we're almost there. The last step is you're going to go to Wonderland now, and you're going to make sure you're on the right network. You're going to have to approve your wallet, approve this site to use your wallet, which is going to, again, cost like 0.001 AVAX or so. Then you're going to just go to stake all of it, stake max. Then stake your time. And remember, staking is the really important part. If you don't stake, you don't get the 84,813% APY. And then time is not very good to hold if you're not going to stake it. Okay, it's really not worth it. So go ahead in here, max, and stake your time. And then what you'll see is you might have to add it to your MetaMask just to see it. So it's in your wallet, even if the token isn't added to your wallet. But you can click here. Time gives you this nice time and Memo, and even a buy on Trader Joe. They kind of make it easy for you so that you can see your balances on here. But you can see my balance, 1.425 in MetaMask. And there you go. And then you'll start by the next rebase, whenever that is. The next one's in 2 hours from when I'm making this video. You get your 0.6178. So pretty powerful project, pretty good returns. And I think worth the risk right now. One last thing, I forgot, this is new. And they do it mostly just to create hype. Because again, I don't believe that there's two things cannot be true. This APY can't stay at 84,813% for very long, and the price of time stay where it is. Okay, there's just not a way that those things could both be true. But here's a calculator that they do where you can kind of mess around with it and just see the potential return based on. So if I keep it in there for 30 days at this APY and at this price, which that's not unreasonable for 30 days, then it'll be worth $19,000 at this point. And if you want to do some, this is, how safe is this project? Well, it's a little bit less safe than Olympus DAO, I would say. So it's way safer than some projects in crypto, but it's not nearly as safe as others. That's not really helpful to say at all. But let's say you did something, you did a lot more. Like let's say you did 5 times. That'd be maybe like $35,000. That could turn into $67,000 in 30 days. And if you start looking at, okay, if I put $35,000 in 365 days, so we'll say 1 year, which is the max here. You're up to, is that 3 million or is that 33 million? It's hard to, that's 33 million, I believe. I'm having trouble seeing. My eyes are getting old. But yeah, it's $33 million. So a potential $39,000 investment now, if these numbers all stayed the same, which again, they have for about a month. And I don't know how long they're going to, but it's been the same for about a month. But if it stayed this way for a year and you invested $39,000, you'd end up with $33 million. Okay, and the potential Lambos, 150 right there. I don't know why you'd want 150 Lambos, but that's the potential. So very powerful project, pretty exciting. It's my second favorite DAO. We're going to go through some there's a lot of projects like this, but Olympus is my number 1. This is my number 2. And I like that it's on a different network, super high returns, good team behind it. But yeah, again, none of this is financial advice, just showing you what I've done, and good luck to you. Thank you.